What's up, my friends? This is John Baruti for Baruti Success. This week we're talking about how to fix your credit score, that's FICO, in less than 30 days. Stay tuned. So, just for 100% transparency, I was going to do a different video today. I was going to do a video on how to get a perfect credit score. Well, Sally, I went to check my credit score. And yeah, lo and behold, not perfect. Not perfect at all. So you go and say, well, first of all, don't forget, subscribe and hit that like button. And you could also comment and share this video because that really helps the channel. Let's get back into it. So went and checked my FICO score because I was going to do a video on how to have a perfect credit score. Yeah, not so much. So let's get into it. Into my Discover FICO score credit, and look at that. Yeah, 732. That's not perfect. No, not even a little bit perfect. Okay, let's pause that puppy. All right. So we got 13 accounts, 35 years of credit, right? What is that? One inquiry, that wasn't the problem. 1% revolving utilization, that wasn't the problem. Missing payments, that wasn't the problem. Actually, the one inquiry probably was the problem. All right, so let's keep looking. And if we go and see there, it says, what's hurting? What's hurting? Yeah, let's go take a look at what's hurting. Okay, so what was hurting was a blemish on my credit from years ago, 2016. I can remember this like yesterday. So I had to go for a CAT scan. It was a nodule in my chest, my boobie area, in my boobie, right? And it was nothing. So they sent me for a visual CAT scan, and it was nothing. But this particular place, I had paid. I remember there being an issue. I don't even remember if it was my credit card or whatever, but regardless, I paid this account. And it went into collections. I called them, told them I paid it. Regardless, it became an issue. Totally forgot about it. Looking at my credit, and yes, still on there. Not so good. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk through how to fix that. Now, first thing I'd like to say is, and I told you, some of you might know, some may not. I had a whole bunch of employees years ago because I owned a wholesale bakery. And, I had the greatest guys working for me. But, to find a person to work overnights and drive is not the easiest thing to do. So I would tend to hire people with maybe, their backgrounds or their credit history not so good. And I made it my job to help them try to get their credit reports back. None of them wanted anything to do with it, most of them. Excuse me. Oh, John, I screwed up my credit years ago. None of these guys were old. I'm like, how is it possible that all these people screwed up their credit? And unfortunately, people screw up their credit pretty early on in their life. So I just want you to, it's not hard to correct it. And listen, the biggest issue, and this is what a lot of people do, right? And you would say, well, John, you did it. And potentially, I didn't put my head in the sand with this, but I haven't looked at my credit. I just assumed my credit was, super great. Because, not to brag, but I got a lot of credit. A lot of credit. I got this isn't even like bank credit, credit card credit. I have like almost $500,000 in credit card credit. I don't use that anymore. I needed all that because of the businesses and all the things going on. And, I used that over the years, but now it's all paid off. All my credit cards are either zero or on time. So I should have almost a 780 or an 800 or over in credit score. And if you look at this, it's been over here, March 2021, I don't know what I did there, it was 707. So this is not great for me. And to be honest, listen, can I go and get a loan? Of course, at 732. Am I going to get the best credit loan amount? Maybe, maybe not. But if you have a 760 or above, you're carte blanche. You're golden. You can get basically anything you want. Okay. First, we're going to go and we're going to search for it's mycreditreport.com. All right. So we're going to go do that. Here we go. All right. These are all ads. Don't click on them. Don't pay for your credit score ever. Or your credit reports, because it's free, right? And I'm going to show you how. You come down here, annualcreditreport.com. We're going to click on it. Clicky, clicky. And here we go. Okay? So we're going to basically request your free credit reports. Again, you could do this once a year. It's totally free. The government requires the... let's go in. Okay. So... going to come right back. I'm going to put all my information in so you don't get to see it. And we'll be right back. All right? And the government requires all the credit reporting people to do this to allow you to get your free credit report once a year. Okay, so let's get into it. So first I did my Equifax. Okay, and if you see here, okay, collections. Here, $262. This is what's causing a 30-point or 40-point problem in my credit. It's ridiculous. And this has been paid. So let's go and we have to dispute this, right? Now, unfortunately, I don't have the records, the credit card records that I bought this. So let's go and dispute this. Go to the collections, hit dispute, right? Here we go. And we are going to go into the actual works you need to know. Start a dispute. Okay, and again, this is for Equifax. Submit a dispute, and you fill in your information. Okay, and we're going to the dispute center, and we are going to dispute this situation. File a dispute. I have read. Yes. Continue. We want negative information. Here we go. Clicky, clicky. Okay, and we want collections, and this is the one. It'll pop up if you have issues. It'll pop up, and but unfortunately, you have to dispute each and every infraction, right? You have to do it one at a time. So we're going to file a dispute against this. Last reported account status and account information, right? I paid this debt. I'm going to click there. I'm going to give a short information. This debt was paid years ago. Now, again, unfortunately, I don't have the backup. I'm hoping the burden of proof is on them to find it, but we're going to go and dispute it and see what happens. Okay. Now, we don't need any of this. I don't have any optional uploading information. Now, of course, if you have your information and you have your payment of your debt, definitely snap a picture of it and send it in. Continue. Okay. And this is all the information that's going to be recorded. Submit and dispute. Okay. So this was Equifax, right? Now we have to do the other two. You have to do them individually. They're not going to all clear. Listen, this takes 15 minutes of your time. You don't have to pay anybody. You don't have to, sure, could you pay somebody to do this? Yeah, but it's free. And it really is not that big of a deal to do, okay? So let's go to the next one. We're going to do Transunion. Log into Transunion, right? Agree and get started. Now, I went back to mycreditreport.com and I went to the next one, which is Transunion. Same thing. We're going to do the same thing. Okay. We're going to dispute this. And again, each one of these, this is not hard. It's time consuming, right? But it's not hard. There's the dispute right there. Remix. We're going to dispute it. Right. Save and continue. It is inaccurate. Right. And this account was settled. All right, same thing. We're going to do a brief description, which is basically going to say, listen, this account was paid years ago. And again, obviously, if you have the backup, this makes this much easier. This is 2016, was that 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, over 6 years ago. So, they're going to check with the debtor. Hopefully, it's $230 something. Hopefully the debtor will say, yeah, this was satisfied. And then the reporters, Transunion, Equifax, and the other one will all take it off. Continue. Review your dispute. Okay. And submit dispute. And that is Transunion. Yes, and submit. So as you can see, none of this is hard. Everybody thinks it's hard, but it's not. And you submit dispute here. What's next? Okay. And we are done with Transunion. Let's go to Experian. Now, while I'm going through all this, what I want to explain to you, you can watch on the screen, I'm going to log in and do the same exact thing. But here's the thing, right? Most people, how they get in trouble is they put their head in the sand with this stuff. Oh, if I just ignore it, it'll go away. Listen, this stuff doesn't go away. And if it goes away, it's 7, 8, 9 years later. So just go and do this, see what the issues are. Take this stuff on head first. Account registration complete. Yep. Head first. Call the credit cards. A lot of times, the credit cards they want to hear from you, right? They don't want to hear from your bankruptcy lawyer or from one of the reporting agencies or from anything derogatory. They want your credit to be good. They want you to use your credit. So a lot of times you can call them up and say, listen, I have this. Obviously I have this $262 thing here, which I'm going to dispute what you see me doing. But some people have thousands and thousands of dollars of problems with their credit cards. Call them up, work out a deal. They will. Let's say you owe. Let's say you owe Discover $5,000, right? And it's been years since you've paid them, or you can't pay them. You're only paying the minimums, or you basically stop paying them at all. Call them up before it goes into collections and work a deal. They will work with you, because otherwise they're going to sell your debt for pennies on the dollar. They'd rather deal with you than a debt company. Okay. And here we go. And we're done. All right. So listen, back to me. As you see, it was very easy to do these disputes. And I'll show you another video on exactly what happened after all the disputes were filed and if they corrected my score. But here's the whole point of this video today, is to explain to you that it's not hard to deal with the credit card companies. It's not. Call them up. And here's the thing. Let's say, and I'm calling mine up because I should have outstanding credit, and going through this and figuring out that I think it's like $460,000 in credit debt that I'm not using, right? So my interest rate should be way low. Why? Why do I even care, John? Like, you're not using them. Yeah, but who knows? I'm starting other businesses. I'm starting this. Maybe I need a loan someday. Whatever. You should stay on top of your credit, right? So call them up and say, hey, you're charging 20.99% in interest. I have no debt with you. Haven't been for a while because I'm using another credit card. Okay, Mr. Brody, we'll look into it. We're going to give you 14.99. Terrific. And they'll change it. Same thing with your credit limits, right? Mr. Brody, you have a $42,000 credit limit on this card. Well, if you give me a $60,000 credit limit, I might think of using the card. Okay, let's look into your credit. Boom, not a problem, $60,000. Now and I'm going to do another video on this, but John, why would you want more credit? Here's the thing, right? More credit doesn't hurt you unless you take the credit, right? More credit helps you, multiple reasons. Because the credit card agencies have they have their own algorithms. They want to see, how much credit do you have? Well, against that credit, how much are you using? Let's say you have $1 million in credit, but you're only using $1,000. That's outstanding. Let's say you have $10,000 in credit and you're using 950 of it. 950 Let's say you have a $10,000 credit and you're using 9,500 of it. That's bad. That's almost 100% utility. You're using almost 100%. That's bad. Super bad. All right. So go and in that instance, right? First of all, you should try to pay down your credit. I know a lot of people are having problems, right? Especially now, who's not working, who is working, who doesn't want to go back to work, regardless. My suggestion to you, and please take this with be careful. Go and increase your credit line. Go and get another credit card if you can. What? Yes. Because let's say you get another credit card, and that credit card gives you a $10,000 balance, right, or credit. Now you have $20,000 in credit lines, and you're only using $10,000. That isn't great, but it's much better than using 100% of your credit. So if you're not in this situation and you do have good credit, go and try to get great credit. Because listen, your credit score, your FICO, affects so much. And people, sometimes they realize, sometimes they don't. Car insurance, employment. Yeah, some employers go and look at your credit score. Is this person responsible? That's what they say. Well, if you're totally in debt, no, you're not responsible. And, for a good job, they might not hire you. Obviously, for loan, it matters. Your home loan, your car loan. Why are you paying 19% on your car? Well, probably your FICO score is 500 or 550. That's why. If you had a 7, a 6, a 7, 800 credit score, 800's perfect, you'd be paying 2.0 if not 0% on your car. Same thing with your house. You're going to go refinance? Well, there, Jane. If you don't have really good credit, you're not going to get the best interest rates. Okay? So I started this video out to explain to you how to get a perfect score, which I do not have. And I clearly went into, because I had infractions, how to straighten up your credit score in 30 days. Because these credit agencies have 30 days to research this, get in touch with the debtors, and figure it out either way. Listen, if they come back and say, nope, sorry, they said you still owe it, then you still owe it. Then what I'm going to go do, I'm going to, I'll have to pay it again like a jackass, and then have a record of it. I'll scan it this time and put it in the computer so I have it. But, I'm super adamant on having perfect, if not terrific, credit score. And I truly think you should be as diligent in getting a great credit score because it affects so much of your life. Okay? So we'll see you on the next one. And I hope this did you some justice. I'm gonna get a perfect credit score. Yes, I am shooting for 800. That's right.